Good day, everyone. My name is Gabriel Quenville. I'm the Fitness, Sports, and Physical Exercise Coordinator for the Personnel Support Programs, also known as PSP for short, for OUTCAN Europe out here in GK. After today's 10-minute presentation, you'll have all of the necessary tools in order to set your smarter goals. Today's presentation is going to focus on fitness or sports-related goals. However, setting smarter goals is important in all aspects of your life. Whether you want to improve on your nutrition, whether you want to work towards that promotion, work towards improving your work-life balance, for example, or really anything in between. If you're setting yourself smarter goals, you're setting yourself up for success. Let's get started. Before I go into what is the acronym of SMARTer goals, why we gotta set a goal to begin with? That's a good question, and I think that this picture does a great job of illustrating that. Let's use the analogy of going on vacation. Well, setting a goal is the same thing as doing all of the necessary planification to have the best vacation. Before we arrive, what do? We coordinate air travel, ground travel, where we're going to stay, what we're going to see, what we're going to do, where we're going to eat, basically everything to ensure that once we get there, it's fun and worth our time and money. In essence, we want to avoid getting lost in translation. The thing I hate the most is spending money and taking time away from work for a mediocre vacation. I don't want to do that. Just like with my fitness goals, I want to ensure that I achieve the goals that I want. And in order to do that, I need to set a SMART goal, just like I need to plan my vacation. Failure to plan is planning to fail, and we want to avoid just that. So now that we know why we want to set goals, let's talk about SMART goals. What is a SMART goal? Well, a SMART goal can be defined as S, specific, strategic, or significant. Significant is very similar to M, meaningful or motivational. M can also be referred to as measurable. In terms of A, we think about goals that are attainable or achievable and that are adjustable. Adjustable is going to fall into the ER portion of the SMARTer goals. In terms of R, we think of relevance. We want something that's realistic, that coincides with attainable and achievable. And we want something that's results-based, similar to measurable. In terms of T, we want attractable, once again, results-based and measurable. Something that's tangible, once again, realistic, attainable, or achievable. And we want something that's time-based. For today, we're going to focus on S, specific, M, measurable, A, achievable or attainable, R, relevant, and T, timely. The first thing we want to do is create a specific goal. Before we do that, let's actually create a generic goal. My example here in the terms of generics is I want to lift heavier. Let's get rid of lift heavier and let's replace that with increase my overhead press 1 rep max. That's becoming a much more specific goal. Now that I have a specific goal, let's make it a specifically measurable goal by specifically stating how much I want to increase my overhead press by. In this example, I want to increase my overhead press by 10 kilograms. I can measure that improvement quite easily. Without that 10 kilogram stipulation, simply improving my overhead press 1 rep max by half a pound, less than half a pound, would be determined as a success. So we want to have a specifically measurable goal in order to specifically measure whether we've achieved it or not. Now that we have a specifically measurable goal, we need to determine whether those specifics are achievable. In this example, the only thing I really need to look at is whether 10 kilograms is achievable or not. Your goal, your specifically measurable goal, may have multiple values that you need to determine are achievable or not. And that's going to determine on what your goal is. In this example, let's say I'm an Olympic weightlifter who is at the caliber of the Olympic Games. I'm already at the peak of my capacity. So thinking of improving my overhead press by 10 kilograms is probably not achievable. But let's say I'm youthful, healthy, and I've never really worked out before. This is probably achievable, so it really depends on who I am. So now that I've created a specifically measurable goal that I've determined is achievable, I need to add some relevance to it. I need to make my goal meaningful so that I can stay motivated and understand why am I working towards this goal. In this specific example, the relevance or meaning behind it is to be able to lift my kids. That's why I want to increase my overhead press 1 rep max by 10 kilograms. My child continues to get heavier and I'm not getting any stronger, and I want to continue to have a meaningful relationship in a physical capacity with my child as we play and rough around. Relevance could be different. Let's say you're working towards the force test and you're struggling to pass at this time. The relevance is that the force test is an occupational requirement and you want to keep your job. Maybe the relevance is that you want to lose weight so that you can live a longer, healthy lifestyle, because we understand that increased adiposity is directly related to reduced lifespan. Whatever your goal is, once it's specifically measurable and you've determined it to be achievable, add some relevance to it. Finally, let's make our goal fully SMART. It needs to be time-based. In this example, I'm giving myself 6 weeks. Why 6 weeks, do you ask? Well, just like we did after the specifically measurable part, let's determine whether that's achievable. Is that realistic? I'm going to take a look at what my capacity is, what I'm able to do in the next 6 weeks, how I feel I'm going to accomplish this goal, and when am I going to be able to effectively go through the steps needed to get to where I want to be. Maybe 6 weeks is not achievable, in which case I need to reevaluate. Maybe it is, in which case I stay. In this example, I've determined that it is achievable, so I'm happy with my SMART goal, and I'm ready to start training. The next step is to create and devise a plan that's going to help me achieve this SMART goal. But where does the smarter section come from? Is it possible to make your goals even smarter than they already are? Well, the answer to that, the answer is yes. How we can make our goals smarter, we start by E. We want an evaluation of our goal. The evaluation can be done at the midway mark, it can be done at the very end, or anywhere in between, whenever we feel that an evaluation is warranted or necessary. What we're looking for is to reevaluate the achievable portion and maybe the specifics or the relevance of it. Maybe the relevance is no longer necessary, or maybe the specifics or what we thought was achievable is no longer achievable. Or maybe we're reevaluating because we did achieve it, and now we're on to our next goal. And with that, we get to the final part of our smarter goals, which is reassessment. The RE is missing in this picture. What I mean by reassessment is basically recreating our SMART goal. I'm going to give you 3 examples. The first example is, after my 6 weeks, I was successful in improving my 10 kilogram overhead lift, and now I'm evaluating and reassessing. My new SMART goal is to maintain my overhead lift 1 rep max over my lifespan, which is the time-based section, so that I can continue to actively play with my child. I am now happy with the gains I've made, and for my purpose, I no longer feel like I need to improve on my overhead lift. That may be different for you. You need to reassess your own goals and reevaluate them in order to determine what is appropriate. Example number 2. After the 6 weeks mark, I was only able to improve my overhead lift by 5 kilograms, but I stuck to a very regimented routine that was designed and created in order for me to achieve the goals. The reason that I didn't achieve it may have been the fact that I thought it was achievable or realistic, but in fact it wasn't. But I'm putting all my best foot forward in order to achieve it. So let's just change the time base. I'm going to keep that goal, but I'm going to give myself another 6 to 12 weeks in order to achieve it, because maybe the time based wasn't realistic. And then I can reevaluate and reassess at that point and go from there. The final example, I was only successful in improving my overhead lift by 5 kilograms, but I didn't put my best foot forward. I didn't do what I needed to do. Maybe my plan was to go to the gym 3 times a week and I was going once a week at best. So my reassessment isn't with my goals, but what I was doing in order to get there. Do I actually have enough time in my day to put towards training? Maybe my goal isn't realistic because of that. Maybe I'm not putting my priorities where they should be. Or maybe I have other things that are drawing me from this goal. And I need to not reassess the goal, but reassess my priorities. And if I can't put my priorities towards these goals, then yes, I need to reassess my SMART goal and recreate a SMART goal that is achievable. With that, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. As I said, my name is Gabriel Quinville. I'm the Fitness, Sports, and Physical Exercise Coordinator in GK, and that is my email. The other Fitness, Sports, and Physical Exercise Coordinator in Europe is out of shape, and her name is Stefa. Feel free to contact either of us if you have any questions related to fitness or sports or physical activity. Thank you, and have a great day.